Now we're inside a press conference room. And today the movie Beguiled had its first showing for the press. And the press conference was recently taken place here. And among the actors in this movie, we find Nicole Kidman, Kristen Dunst, and Colin Farrell, and so on. And the director was Sofia Coppola. And for this press conference, there was a lot of questions to Sofia Coppola, where she had to answer questions about the movie and answer questions about it from a female perspective. So, and of course, we was also asking a question, and that was going to Colin Farrell. So now I want you to see a little bit of the press conference.
The man, Corporal John McBurney, Colin Farrell. Hello. As Miss Martha, Nicole Kidman. Now, the lady center of the table, center of our meeting today, Director Sofia Coppola.
Hello, my name is Marcus.
Way over there.
My name is Marcus, and I work for Swedish television. First, I want to say it's nice to have you here, and extra welcome to Colin Farrell, because we were missing you yesterday on your press conference on your other movie.
Thanks, man.
So now we're happy that you're here.
Thank you.
I want to ask one question, and I want Colin Farrell and Nicole Kidman and Kirsten Dunst to answer it. How has it been to be working together, and what have you been going through during this journey together?
It's been a journey, man, to get here. Many miles of road.
Many corsets.
It was many corsets, which I didn't have to worry about being the token male. Imagine if I said token female, then the debate would be open. It was an amazing experience to shoot this film. It really was. I mean, I grew up in my life with three very strong and very brilliant and kind and smart women in my life, my mother and my two sisters. So for me to be surrounded by all of these incredible women who are amazingly talented and decent and smart and creative and insightful and curious was just a treat for me. I was really spoiled. And Sofia sets a very particular mood in the working environment that was one of comfort and ease and trust and an environment that allows you as an actor to play and allows you to explore. So it was really I've been doing this 20 years and I've said a couple of times, I think it was my favorite experience, my favorite shoot. And you never know what that's going to result in. You never know what that doesn't mean the film's going to be good or bad or anything. It has very little bearing sometimes. But it was an amazing creative experience, and I got to sit back and watch these women do incredible work, and to be directed by Sofia, who's only one of two female directors I've worked with, Sofia and Liv Ullmann. Unless I'm thinking of forgetting someone, and if I am, I should be shot. But it was amazing to have Sofia, because it is told from a female perspective, and what happened? It is told. Oh, tell me later. It is told. It is told from a female perspective, and so I think it was very important to have. Sofia's a very elegant human being. She's obviously incredibly smart, but she's incredibly elegant, and she has a gentility to her, which is not to say that she hasn't got a beast of an engine inside and an incredible creative engine, But it was nice to have that elegance and that at times tenderness pervade the whole experience and aesthetically also inform how the film looked. And then my guy comes in and he's just a little bit of a survivalist and someone who the idea of good manners is maybe not speaking with your mouth full while you're eating, and that's about the extent of it. But we had a great time. I had a great time with Kirsten and an amazing time with Nicole. It was the second time I worked with Nicole in a very short period of time, so we liked each other the first time out, thank God, so the second time was a joy.
Hi. Sorry, hello. It's Jack Mulvin from The Times. This question was kind of addressed earlier, and Sofia, you answered it briefly, but I'd like it if Kirsten, Nicole and Colin could also answer it. What does this film tell us about all-female environments, that dynamic, and does it suggest there's something unhealthy about it?
I'll let my friends take that one.
I mean, I think anytime there's a group of women all together, they're cut off from the world. I mean, I've always heard about boarding school, and there's different dynamics that come out. So we tried to approach it in a way that we could connect to and had truth to us.
Yeah,
Kirsten?
I think that, you're dealing with this pent up, all these people pent up together, no matter male or female or a mixture, there'll always be something that comes out of that. It's like a survivalist technique. And so Colin just happens to be what our aggressions and all of our feelings that have been corseted up, let's say, they kind of all get unleashed because this new dynamic comes in. I don't think it's necessarily male or female.
I think he comes in and ruins everything.
I actually had a girlfriend once that used to call me the ruiner.
I thought we were doing just
Literally.
fine.
But it was quite affectionate. It was quite. I think it was affectionate.
We were fine.
But they were fine
the
living in
only
a.
thing we couldn't do was procreate, but who cares? We were fine. So, good riddance to him.
Yeah.
Now that's going to be a really great quote that's going to go out there.
Question over there.
Hi, Anthony D'Alessandro from Deadline. Question for Sofia. At CinemaCon, you said something. You said, "I hope people see this movie where it deserves to be seen, in the theater," and that resonates hugely and strongly, particularly at this festival with Netflix.
Or Netflix, yeah, the theater or Netflix, either or.
I was wondering if you could expound on that.
Yes. Yes, I would love to. I'm so happy that we shot on 35 millimeter film and Philippe Lassord's beautiful work, and all of the work. I feel like it's so great to see on a big screen. So I really hope that people will go to the theaters. I think it's such an atmosphere that I hope you're really really go into in a theater atmosphere and to see the photography. And we shot it thinking of a big frame, not a phone. So I hope people will see it in the theater. And that experience is such a unique one, especially in our modern lives, to really lose yourself in a film. And it's so exciting to be in Cannes and celebrating that and to see films on the big screen here in the Palais.
Did you ever see David Lynch talking about seeing a film on the cell phone? Did you ever see that?
No.
It's so beautiful. Did anyone ever see David Lynch talking about... Just check it out on YouTube. It's so beautiful. It's like a 45-second poem because he's very serious and he talks about people seeing, and then he goes, and you think you're seeing the real movie on a fucking telephone at the very end. It's beautiful. Get real. It's so beautiful. Check it out. We'll have a look after.
Okay.
Watch it together.
Yes. But
Question over there.
Ulrike Koltermann from German TV ZDF. Question to Sofia. Is it more like,
oh, thank you.
Over there.
is it more like a feminist film because the victim is a man, or could it be seen also as a macho film because the women don't do anything else, just turning around one man in the show?
It's up for the audience to determine how they want to take it. I put my thoughts into the film, and you can interpret how it connects with you. But for me, I was making the story from the female point of view and trying to show what it was like for them.
And I was making it from the male.
Yeah.
But I was outpowered.
Yeah, exactly. But part of the fun of it is that at the core of it, there's the power struggles between the male and female, which I think are relevant, but in hopefully a entertaining, fun, juicy story.
Yeah, and also the nature of repression. As you were saying, Kirsten, it doesn't seem so gender specific when you just talk about the nature of repression and how it's a it's a blanket that if people find themselves beneath, there will be some kind of heavy price to pay. I think regardless of gender.
Yes. Thank you.
Question over there.
Brian Johnson from Maclean's magazine in Canada. Another question about the confluence of media and formats at this festival. It's historic. We've had the top of the lake yesterday, Nicole, and the small screen on the big screen. And kind of a general question for you and Sofia and anybody else who wants to answer it. With this changing landscape, where do you feel the most freedom lies these days? And for female filmmakers and actors, with film and with cinema, there's a sense that still it's very, very male-dominated. And is there more freedom in television? Where do you see all of this going?
I'll let you take that.
Still only 4% of women directed, I think, the major motion pictures of 2016. 4.2%, which is a statistic from the Women in Film group. Only 183 women just directed. There were 4,000 episodic television series, and only 183 women directed them. So, pardon? So that there says it all. That's the statistics from the Women in Film. So I think that's really an important thing to say and keep saying. Luckily, we had Jane Campion and Sofia here. Obviously, we as women have to support female directors. That's just a given now. I mean, hopefully that will change over time, but everyone keeps saying, oh, it's so different now, it's so different. It isn't. Listen to that. So that's that part of the question. The other part being small screen, big screen, and as an actor, I get to work in all of the mediums. I know doing Big Little Lies, Jean-Marc Vallée directed that for the small screen. He knew what he was making it for. And I think that's a really important part of it, because if you're making, as Sofia said, she was making this film for the big screen. There's a way of framing, there's certain things you do for that reason, you know. But at the same time, we need stories, we need the opportunities, we need things to be seen. The world is changing, and we do have to change with it. So I have a foot in sort of every area of this, and I am grateful. I'm a grateful recipient. I mean, I'm turning 50 this year, and I've never had more work than right now. I'm incredible, and that's partly because I can work in television, I can work in films that are made to be shown on a small screen, and I can work in films that are shown on a big screen. So I'm grateful for those opportunities.
Question over there.
Hi, Jason Gorber from Screen Anarchy and Birth Movies Death. Sofia, remarkable film. I'm just wondering if you and the actors can talk a little bit more about the challenges of revisiting a film which is considered by many a classic. And specifically, Sofia, when Kathleen Kennedy was reaching out to some filmmakers to work on a certain sci-fi franchise, your name was actually bandied as one of the people that she might have reached out to. I'm wondering if a studio had reached out to you and say, hey, you can do a Marvel movie, a Disney movie for $200 million. Is it something you would want to do? Or are you more interested in your art being more specific, more personal?
How many tiers was that question?
Subsume your vision to a greater whole.
I love making small, low-budget films where I'm really allowed to do it the way I want. And I think when you have those huge franchises, there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen and meetings in conference rooms, which, but I'll never say never. But I really enjoyed making this film because it was a small film where it was really the focus was on the acting. We were all in one location, and I really enjoyed this. What was the first part of the question?
Sorry, just briefly. If you guys could talk about the pressure of doing another version of the film, about making sure that it's your own. That's what I'm saying in connection with the larger budget, of making sure that this is your own vision of this film, which is already known and celebrated by many others.
Right, yeah, I never intended to try to remake that film, but really just go back to the story and tell my own version. And I'm curious I tried to put that one out of my mind because I wanted to try to forget that and just imagine how I would make this film, how I would tell the story and start again. And but I'm looking forward to watching. We're gonna have a double feature in Los Angeles at Quentin Tarantino's theater, so I'm excited to watch both of them. And I think they're this is sort of the other, like flipping it on its head, and they kind of are two sides of the same story, I hope.